Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Golden Age of Gaming, which is a mini podcast series with me and my friend TJ here, where we talk about the golden age of gaming, such as, the 2010s and everything basically before microtransactions and loot boxes and Fortnite dominated the entire gaming industry. Can we have a moment of silence, please, for fantastic games? Thank you. So today we're going to be talking about the last good Halo game. As I previously stated, following me alongside this topic is TJ over here.
What up, gamers? It's your boy.
TJ, as many of you know, has been in multiple videos. Most of the movie reviews TJ is in. He's also in a few vlogs as well. It's a good time. He's also our subscribe for more image at the end of him just dabbing.
The best part of the video.
Yeah, the dabbing on a rock. Yeah. So today we're talking about Halo Reach. Many people consider it the last good Halo game, and we are no different. We completely agree with that statement. So TJ, could you tell us a little bit about Halo and the importance of Halo?
Well, you see, it's just a fact that Halo is the best Xbox exclusive. Sorry, Gears fans. It's good too.
Yeah, Gears is good.
It's not old Halo.
It's not old Halo, no.
The system seller. Without Combat Evolved, Xbox would have been done.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 was out at that time.
Yeah,
they would have had no chance.
Yeah, heck, God of War. God of War was killing it. And, they have Naughty Dog under their belt, so they had, Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, and they had all these great games, but then, Xbox comes in with an absolute powerhouse of a game, Halo Combat Evolved, and, we'll continue from there. What happened as the years went on?
They made Halo 1, top tier, system seller.
Yep.
Halo 2, pretty top tier,
Yeah.
had some issues here and there, but multiplayer, revolutionary.
That's very true.
Halo 3, expanding the multiplayer, you introduced the file share, dude.
Yes.
Forge.
Yes, Forge.
But we're talking about Forge.
What?
Halo Reach, best Forge,
Exactly.
hands down. Granted, I haven't played Halo 5's Forge because nobody should play that trash.
Yeah, nobody should play Halo 5. Halo 5 isn't an actual Halo game.
It's really not.
It doesn't exist.
It's fan fiction.
Yeah, it's someone managed to get the budget to make a really terrible fan fiction turn into a game, and that rich person that made the fan fiction into a game is 343 Industries. They made some two strikes because I don't like Halo 4. I know TJ thinks it's okay.
Halo 4 is alright, but they still have two strikes for me
because
Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, Master Chief Collection was I don't understand how you screw up Master Chief Collection. You're just supposed to remaster the games, and somehow you still screw it up.
But man, they're making it better now, but they're still charging money for Halo Reach.
Yeah, this terrible.
Insane.
Yeah. Halo Reach came around 2010. A great year for games. 2010 was it was Call of Duty Black Ops, which is considered one of the best CODs. You had Dead Space 2, which opens up a wound that we'll probably explore in a future Golden Age of Gaming video.
Speaking of wounds, Mass Effect 2 came out that year.
Yeah, Mass Effect.
A lot of people say that's the best Mass Effect. I think 3. But don't kill me.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people, the ending of Mass Effect 3 is what ruined it for them.
It's fine.
Yes.
Leave it alone.
Aside from that, we also had, Skyrim was 2011. So, the 2010-2011 block, in really the early 2000s in general, are just so good for games. And, Halo Reach is easily one of the best. The story follows the Noble Team. The second game that doesn't follow Chief, right?
Because ODST.
Yeah. ODST wasn't.
Well, technically third because Halo Wars existed.
Oh, right, yeah, if you count that. I don't count it as a Halo game, because I think Halo games are the first-person, like, run-and-gun type thing with...
By technicality.
Yeah, so just because it has it in the name, so I guess there you go. But it follows Noble Team and the events of Reach that happen... honestly, the amount of time jumps in Halo Reach, it makes it seem like, at least a year before Halo 1?
Something like that. It's a while.
Yeah, because it ends, like, just before Combat Evolved starts. We're going to jump into spoilers for the game. I mean, the game's been out for nearly a decade.
Oh, God.
Which makes us feel really old, even though
A little bit.
I'm 19 and you're, 20? 19? You're 19? If you guys don't want it spoiled, what are you doing? How have you not played this
game
yet?
right now.
Yeah, this game is incredible. It's backwards compatible with Xbox One, and just what are you guys doing? Just make sure that, you guys play this absolutely fantastic game. It takes place on the planet of Reach. The Covenant are very brutal in this game compared to other Halo games. Because the grunts in the Halo series have always been like pushovers, and they speak English, and they're always just like die, and then they die or they run away for the most part.
Mostly both.
Yeah, mostly both. I mean, the grunts in this game are pushovers too, but
pretty much
they're still they don't speak any English. The elites are terrifying. Those guys are just not. They're just not having it. They don't like the UNSC at all. So it follows a team of Spartans. You got Carter. I'm not gonna say them in order because I never remember the order. But
I know the order.
Oh, do you know the order?
Yeah, we got Noble 1, Carter.
Carter, okay.
Noble 2, Kat. Noble 3, Jun. Noble 4, Emil.
5
Noble
is
5, George. And then Noble 6.
Noble 6, yes. So you play as Noble 6. He is the new addition to the squad in the beginning of the story. And you guys are basically trying to keep the peace in Reach. You're getting a lot of reports that the local militia are causing problems and, stealing munitions and, rations and all that stuff from UNSC and ONI outposts and all that. The second mission in to the campaign, they realize it's not the militia that's causing all these problems. It's the goddamn Covenant. And basically the whole campaign spirals into chaos from that point on. The story's incredible. The story's great.
Top tier. My second favorite Halo story. I like 3's a little bit more.
3 is really, really good. 3 is what got me into Halo. So I automatically have a bias, but Reach is so close. It's like a 0.1 difference, with how much I like them, and that 0.1 being Reach having the best forge. That is what makes it for me. The graphics in this game still hold up. The game looks gorgeous.
Incredible. My favorite looking game.
Exactly. Bungie, what they did was, and I still think they are, the king of skyboxes, and they know how to make good cutscenes. I mean, they're for those of you who don't know who Bungie is, if you live under a rock, Bungie is obviously the guys who made the original Halo games, Halo 1 through Halo Reach. And then they decided to abandon the Halo license and go to Activision to make a giant looter shooter called Destiny, which had ridiculous amounts of potential, and Activision ruined it.
Many mistakes were made.
Yes, but
they're moving up.
Yeah, moving up. I still love the game, and I know you still really, really enjoy the game. And I mean, we both play it all the time, but currently another game is invading our playtime right now. Definitely doesn't rhyme with Schmorderland's Shmee.
A certain other looter shooter,
Yeah.
best looter shooter, cough.
Yeah. You're talking about Anthem, right?
Yeah.
It's Anthem. Yeah, of course.
Best
Definitely.
game.
So they decided to make Destiny, which is some people consider it an absolutely terrible choice. I don't think that it was. The bad decision was going to Activision, but they're free from that now. So now let's all just hope that Activision really was the problem, because now we have no one else to blame but Bungie.
Essentially.
And nobody wants to blame Bungie for anything.
Well, some of us do. Crucible.
Yeah,
Bungie,
listen.
What are you doing? What's going on?
Well, Shadowkeep is supposed to hunker down on PvP.
Yeah, we'll see.
Really, really good. But regardless, I mean, we're still gonna have to try and get all the pinnacle weapons and all that stuff, because they're gonna be really good and we're gonna want them.
I still have to get Mountaintop.
I still have to get Mountaintop too. So we'll be going to Fabled again. Yeah. But before they left, Reach was their big Halo game, and while it's considered a masterpiece now, when the game came out, it was not met with that praise. Which is funny, because when I first got the game around that time, I thought it was the best Halo game I played. But I also found out, years later, that there were actually some people who despised it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that that people thought that this game wasn't good.
Yeah, but you see, then 343 took over.
Yeah.
And then everyone looked back like, man, we didn't know what we had.
Yeah, and then someone decided, wow, 343 is so bad. Let me just jump into Reach real quick. Let's see this terrible game. And then they started playing it and realized, oh my god, it's
a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's not terrible at all. The characters in this game, Spartans, I mean, they have a track record of saying very little in the Halo series. But these guys talk a lot, and they got really, really good character development. I feel like the only one I don't really care for out of the whole bunch is Kat.
Yeah,
and that's just because
common thing.
Yeah, it's just because she's kind of rude the whole time.
A little bit.
Yeah, she's like, you're blocking my. I can't even do the voice, but it's like, you're blocking my light, and then she's like, you don't know what you're doing, or whatever it was, something about that. But I mean, she wasn't. I didn't hate her. None of the Noble Team characters are unbearable and in any means at all. But I definitely have a favorite, and I know you have a favorite. Oh, yeah. Your favorite is June.
Yeah, your boy, the sniper.
Yeah, June is the sniper of the group. Good shot, talks too much, as the description says. Carter is the regular old leader. He's a pretty awesome character as well. Kat's the tech whiz of the group. She does a lot of hacking and programming and all that stuff. George is the heavy. George is the big guy with the big gun, and he'll mow down any Covenant that stands in Noble Team's way. And then Emil is just the overall badass. He's the one that runs in with the. He's actually probably the most well known of Reach. I mean, his staple helmet is what a lot of people know.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Helps that he's in Gears 5 now.
Yeah, I still don't have him, but yeah, it's okay. I'll just cry in a corner. But
understandable.
Yeah. But no, Emil is just he's pretty quiet, but he knows his way around killing things. He's like that grizzled Vietnam vet in the back that's just I could tell you a story, but knows how to kill. And he's just like the stereotypical I've seen things and I will kill you all kind of guy. He's pretty awesome. I love him. And then 6 is you. So it's whatever your playstyle really is. They established a light backstory for him, and it's basically just he prefers being a lone wolf, which ends up being a major foreshadow of the events at the end of the game, which we might as well just talk about now. Throughout the whole story, you're following this team of Spartans, and they're all getting killed one by one, and it's pretty sad to watch, honestly. The one comes out of well, actually, I mean, really, they all come out of nowhere because you don't want any of them to die, but
my boy lives.
Yeah, Jun.
My boy Jun.
Only one person lives in this entire story, and it's TJ's favorite.
My man.
But my favorite, Emil, goes out like a boss. He, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But all the characters die eventually at different points of the story. Kat was first, right?
No.
Or was it George?
It's George.
Right, because yes. So George is basically you're on this Covenant ship with George, and Six is trying to detonate a bomb, and you find out that it took some like plasma damage, right?
Yeah.
During the fight, so it had to be set manually.
Essentially.
Yeah, so George basically just like threw Six out of
yeeted him into space.
Yeah, and was just like, tell him to make it count. And like he sacrificed himself and blew up the ship, which was sad because George was kind of the teddy bear of the group. He was, the typical like, I'm a big guy with a big heart, like kind of like Brick in Borderlands and like Coltrane in Gears of War and all that stuff. And he was a really awesome guy. And then Kat was second. Kat was a random one. Like
Kat was out of nowhere.
Yeah, like it's mid cutscene too, and they're basically like just running down a hallway, and just she goes from talking to getting a giant like needle through her head.
Somebody set the game mode to SWAT, and Jackal took the shot.
Yeah, that Jackal just completely destroyed her. It was very unexpected, and I felt bad for the characters around her as opposed to her. She didn't really give me a reason to like her a lot, because all the characters have cutscenes to like shine. And, that cutscene, Winter Contingency, when, George and Emil are kind of, like, the tension between the two. And, like, Emil is perfectly content with what he is, because Spartans being, basically, cyborgs, just, like, half robot.
Something like that.
Yeah, like, he's come to terms with it, and he knows that people don't like Spartans and stuff like that, but George is over here, like, still trying to be a compassionate human being. And there's a little bit of tension between the two because of just their ideologies and all that stuff. So everyone has like their moment to shine, and Kat is kind of just there hacking things. She's basically a human version of like your Ghost in Destiny, just without any of the wit and humor. So she was just kind of like Dinklebot, but.
Dinklebot.
But I
Rip
still,
in peace, my
yeah,
boy.
I still like Dinklebot. But I do like Northbot as well. Right when all that stuff happens, the next one being Carter. After Carter. You realize halfway through the story that you guys, or towards the end of the story, that you guys have to deliver a package, and
it's like the end of the second to last mission. You get Cortana.
Yeah, that AI being, of course, like TJ said, Cortana, which was, Chief's right-hand lady in the fray of Halo 1 through 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course,
we don't count 4 right now.
We don't count 4 because it's not good.
It's decent.
It's not good. It's not good. There's
Yeah,
no such thing as a
good.
decent
It's
Halo
decent.
game. There's good or bad. And no, there's good, there's great, and then there's no in between. There's not an okay Halo game.
Nah, see. Here's how it goes. You got the good ones. You got the masterpieces.
Yeah.
You got the like decent ones that are Halo 4's 1, 2, and 4. And then wait, and somewhere in between the very bottom and Halo 4, you got like Spartan Assault and that one arcade game, which I guess was decent, but like
Yeah,
they
it
took
was,
the time to make that.
instead of making Halo 6.
Yeah, and then way at the bottom, like worst video game ever made, bottom is Halo 5.
Yeah,
Ruined my life.
that
That
game.
it's horrible.
Oh my god, that game is just terrible. But there's the story of Halo Reach, and it's really just so good. It's not overly complicated. It's a simple, straightforward, a day in the life of a squad of Spartans when they realize the Covenant are invading a planet they thought would like never be invaded, and it happened, and it's their way of dealing with it. They're dealing with Halsey, they're dealing with Oni, the UNSC, like they're going through all this, going through the motions, and the whole time Reach is just on fire. It's not good. This planet has seen better days.
Getting glass.
Yeah, it's completely just murked. And it all ends with Noble Six, yourself, the player, being alone. His whole squad is wiped out at the end of the game. And, it's just, the lone wolf, like in the beginning of the game when they foreshadow this exact moment when Carter, Noble One, talks to the player and is like, that lone wolf stuff stays behind. And little does he know that at the end of it, it's exactly that. He becomes
called Lone Wolf.
Exactly, he becomes the lone wolf.
Great final mission.
It is a great final mission because the objective is to just survive, but there's no way you can. You keep going until, well, you can't anymore. And it ends just how it begins, with your helmet in the dirt, cracked and broken, and just being remembered. And that's like the beauty of the game, the simplicity of the beginning and the end. And it goes to show that you don't need a ridiculously complicated story to make it effective. And this game showed that 100%. Like, without a doubt. And, it's... Aside from the story, there were many, many other things in this game that are, like, just superb.
Everything, dude. The Easter eggs.
The Easter eggs are
in the
awesome.
campaign. Like, you can fly a pelican. A lot of people think, oh, Halo 4 is the first time you can fly a pelican. They clearly didn't play Reach enough.
Exactly.
Because if you did, you can go into you get the Easter egg to fly either a Phantom or the Pelican in New Alexandria. Also, great mission, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Flying around
super
in the
good
Falcon.
Mission. Yeah, the missions in this game are incredibly memorable. Like, aside from Lone Wolf, just because of, the context of the situation, Winter Contingency, aside from the missions, the music, easily some of the best in Halo.
So good.
And some of the best in any Bungie game, in general.
Some of the best in games in general.
Yes.
I might say. Tip of the Spear. Go take a listen right now.
Tip of the Spear is really, really good. I love the Overture, the main menu theme.
Top tier.
It's just the drum kicks in, and like I still every now and then when I'm at work, like I'll drum out the Halo Reach theme in my head.
As you should.
Exactly. I'll just be
So
sitting there
good.
and I'll be like boom, 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 and like I love it. Just over and over again. It's replayable. The music alone is like a reason to play this game. And aside from all the story beats and the music and all that, multiplayer is awesome. Like,
My favorite multiplayer.
it's my favorite multiplayer without a doubt. It's you have all these armor abilities that you didn't have in the original Halo games or any other Halo game. You have Armor Lock, which is a meme in Halo Reach,
Armor
but
Lock
it's
one of the only two problems that this game has.
yeah.
And the
yeah.
other one is just personal preference, Reticle Bloom. You can
Yeah.
get used to it. I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
That's the only other problem.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I get that. But
to be fair, without it, the DMR would be too strong.
oh yeah, well the DMR is already too strong. The DMR is just the perfect gun.
Essentially, not as good as like the battle rifle in Halo 2.
Okay, well we don't talk about, or like the Magnum in Halo
Magnum
1.
Halo 1.
Yeah, the Magnum in Halo 1. Although the Magnum's kind of pathetic in Reach, but it's not as
The
bad
Magnum's
as.
been pathetic in every game except 1 and ODST.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. And the multiplayer, there are some maps that are fan made that you play on, right? Like all the Forge maps.
Yeah.
They're awesome. You have like this whole plethora of game modes. When was Flood introduced? Was Flood introduced in Reach?
No, well, Infection was originally a fan-made custom game in Halo 2, and then they made it a limited-time playlist in Halo 3 to a full-time playlist in Halo Reach.
Oh, okay. Like that's easily that's one of my personal favorite game modes. It
used to be for me, and then I played it too much.
That's fair.
Like,
yeah, you
I think
play it
it's
too
still
much.
good, but I can't play it that much anymore.
But with multiplayer and story being just really, really good, and Forge being able to adding the introduction of making your own bases.
Well, still, the introduction was Halo 3.
Well, yeah, the
technically.
introduction of structures that you could add. Like in Halo 3, it was like you can add like miscellaneous items like boxes and barrels and guns and whatnot, but you can never add like actual buildings
Well,
in 3.
that's not true.
What?
Sand Trap.
Oh.
Or Sandbox. Sandbox is the map.
Sandbox?
And Foundry. Those two you could like build structures on.
You could?
Yeah.
Not your domain.
How do I not remember that?
I don't know, man. I guess you just didn't play enough Halo 3.
Okay, don't ever say that. I played Halo 3 a lot. It was like back when I didn't have Xbox Live on my 360. I only played 3 because I had that and Gears of War 3, and I would jump between the two. And I mean, though I did play more Gears because I like Gears a lot, but Halo 3 I played the ins and outs of. That game is just incredible. I love that game.
Gears,
Yeah,
second
exactly.
favorite game.
It is. It is.
You guess what
easily.
number 1 is?
Is it Halo Reach?
It's Anthem.
Oh, dude, Anthem's fantastic.
Anthem's the best game ever made. Oh man, I can't wait for that DLC.
Yeah,
Right?
no, wait, what DLC? Oh, that's right, man.
Unfortunate.
Jeez. I guess we just gotta wait for Dragon Age to see what happens to BioWare.
It'll be
Anyway,
fine.
but you know, Forge Island, or Forge.
Forge World.
Yeah, Forge
Forge
World.
Island was.
Don't we
before.
don't? Yeah. But Forge World was an awesome map. Had like everything. The map is huge.
It had Blood Gulch built into it.
So many times. Like I have memories back when I was in like 6th grade playing at Griffin's house. I played it at Griffin's house, and like it was some end of the year party that he had, and like all of us were just playing Reach. We were playing Forge. It was the 4 of us, and you know we would alternate controllers and all that, and it was awesome. Everyone was building their bases, fighting each other. Griffin was using a grid the whole time.
Oh yeah, the grid.
Yeah, using a giant, massive grid to just and just setting it to rotate, so it's like a giant fan, and it's just destroying everything in its path. It was hilarious because I always like built my bases away from all the chaos, and like I'd occasionally visit with like a Falcon, which is still one of my favorite vehicles in Halo because it's so cool looking. But like I'd occasionally fly over and glance, and what do I see? I see this big ass blue grid just flailing around and eating up everything in its path, and everyone's like, you know, freaking out and laughing their ass off. It's great. Like so many memories with Forge because it's so fun, and it's not common anymore to get a full-fledged game, a game that isn't locked behind DLC, a game that isn't. Like, the game is there. When you spend the $60, you're spending $60 on a full, high-quality, 100% as-is game. You get everything and more. That was at the time when DLCs were, like, just considered an added bonus.
They were extra stuff.
Yeah, they were extra things that you can have fun with, and not a full, like, not the other portion of the game. Now it's like, hey, you can buy this game for $60, but if you want to spend an extra $50 on that season pass, you can get the other half of the game that should have been there right as it was in the beginning.
I hate it.
It's
few
so
games
terrible.
Do the full game now.
Yeah,
those that do FromSoft, Dark Souls, Sekiro.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
then you got the indie games.
Yeah,
Hollow Knight,
Hollow
great
Knight.
game, love it.
Hollow Knight's fantastic.
Can't wait for that sequel.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for it too. It's
And
gonna be awesome.
Borderlands 3,
Ugh,
complete
that
game at launch. In love with it.
Yeah, the game is it's fantastic. It comes to the point where full, like, $60 actually full games are just few and far between, and you just hope every time you see a game trailer that you're interested in, you're like, oh, I can't wait to play the 25% of the game and have the other 75 in a DLC.
Yeah.
And it's like you flip a coin to see whether or not it's going to be the actual game or not. And that's why I'm nervous with, Elder Scrolls 6, because we all know how well Fallout 76 went,
we don't talk about that.
So, so like seeing games like Halo Reach, it's nice to go back and play games that just had everything at launch, and DLCs are just extra.
And, like, the only DLCs in that game were the map packs.
And then like the extra things, like couldn't you buy like helmets for your character? I thought you could.
No.
Or,
you get avatar items.
Right, yeah, the avatar items, yeah. But aside from speaking of full games that aren't locked behind DLC and stuff like that, the customization in this game,
the best.
It has two words that every game. You shouldn't even have to say that these aren't in your game, but two words. No microtransactions are in this game.
No
at all
microtransactions
whatsoever. You don't need them.
So weird.
Yeah, it's odd. It's like I know multiple games in 2010 and like a little bit later on and beforehand that had like a money system. Black Ops 1, which we'll be talking about in another episode, is exactly that. They had a money system too. Reach had a credit system, and you use those credits. You level up, you earn new armor pieces, you can customize everything up down to the wrist guard that you have on. It's incredible. The thigh pads, the pads that you like never see ever, you can customize them.
Yeah, like 5 options.
Yeah.
Better than anything anyone has now.
Exactly. You can change like the armor effect, you can change the visor color, helmet type, if there's accessories on helmets. Like, all of it was just in the game. It wasn't like buy this pack and get all these additional things. It was exactly as is, full game, and it's just you don't see it anymore.
It's not like Halo 5's garbage Rex system.
Oh my god!
They had it with like a billion of the same helmet with a little different pattern on it. Not even like additional pieces like in Reach. It's completely random in Halo 5, so you'll probably never get what you want.
Yep.
And God, they've had it with like a billion purple visors and stuff.
It's terrible, and I don't understand why. Like, because it was just so effective, and I know, like, publishers are all trying to get more and more money because that's all they want. Publishers just want more and more money. But this was at a time where it was like this even ground between publishers and developers, where both of them just cared about the quality of the game, and it showed. Like, it very clearly shows. And the main thing that shows that publishers didn't care is because the studio never interfered. Microsoft, for the Halo games, when Bungie was around, basically they were just like, wow, whatever you guys are doing, great work, good on you, you guys are doing great.
Keep it up.
Yeah, we're making bank right now. You guys can do whatever you want with the series, just keep pumping them out. Please, just keep pumping them out. And no studio interference at all. And when in terms of
ODST,
what do they do with
Bungie
it?
wanted it to be a free expansion for 3, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Some of them charged $60 for it.
Oh, was it 60? I don't think I got it that long. I don't think I got it that long.
Either way,
I still think it's a good game too. So, I mean, I actually I consider it a standard thing. If it was an expansion, that'd be insane. But, the studio's gotta make money. But if that's the only interference you have, that's saying something.
a lot better than now.
Oh yeah, the amount of people that
Activision
and one publisher that begins with an E and ends with an A, and there are only 2 letters in it. So
Who could that be?
yeah, I don't know.
Company in America, twice in a row?
Really, I think it should be more than twice in a row.
It will be.
Although, yeah, it comes to the point where I don't know, Activision's trying to aim for that too.
Yeah, they really want that prize.
Yeah, you know, the
Get
trophy
the
that
trophy and
everyone
melt
wants.
it down.
Yeah.
Cash.
Yep. And then sell bits and pieces of it separately in their games or some shit.
Yep.
That's stupid. But yeah, they're like minimal, at least, studio interference from Microsoft, and Bungie was just. It seemed like they were in a good place making Halo Reach, and everything was just perfect. It was just perfect. You can play that game. I mean, we were just playing it recently with a friend of ours who hasn't played it.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Yeah, you know
If
who
you're
you
watching
are.
this, I understand not wanting to beat it now because Borderlands, but we get around to it.
Yeah, this it ain't over. Halo Reach, like, but when we were going through it, like, we're obviously being quiet for the cutscenes and stuff like that because he hasn't seen it before. But
Even if he had seen it before, I still don't talk it.
Exactly, because it's like as we're playing it, and I still love the beginning with like the beautiful skyboxes of like showing Reach, and like the heat that's like swelling off the ground, and then the drums just come in, and the whole like screen goes white, and all it says is just Reach, and that's all it has to say, and you're automatically thrust into this beautiful story, and it's just fantastic. Like, playing it so many times. I've been playing it since it came out, and I'm sure you have too.
Oh, roughly.
Roughly?
I didn't get it until like a couple of years after it came out because I didn't have a 360 at the time.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
started off
I had it.
playing
I
it
didn't
with-
have live.
Yeah, I played it at a friend's house first.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
still didn't have an Xbox for a while, so I got Halo 1 and 2 on PC.
Ah, well now you can get them on. You can get everything Xbox related on Windows now.
Well, yeah, nowadays, but I think that's just through Master Chief Collection for Halo.
Right, that makes sense. But just playing, it's got a massive replay value. Like, you can play this game if you have, like, because summertime in terms of like game releases, it's usually incredibly slow. It's nothing usually comes out around that time because developers and publishers want the game to be out in the fall because the fall is near Christmas time, and that's when all the kids are like, I want this, I want that, I want this, and that's when all the Christmas noobs make the most money. The Christmas noobs and all that. This is a good game if you don't have any games to play. And it's one of those days where you stare at your games library, even though you have like hundreds of games to choose from, and you don't know what to play.
Really.
Yes, like every time we were waiting for a Destiny expansion, or
Essentially.
or like
another game.
coming
recently.
out. Yeah, if Borderlands and Gears didn't come out, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably be playing Reach, honestly.
I'd probably play Mass Effect again.
Yeah, you go completely silent, and I'd probably jump to some random indie game I find on Game Pass or something like that.
Or you could keep playing Hollow Knight.
Or I
Now
could
you
keep
haven't
playing
done
Hollow Knight.
anything, or everything.
I know I'm at like 85% now, as opposed to 100,
Yeah.
or as opposed to 75, what I was
You
before.
need to work on getting up to the 112.
Yeah, I know, I gotta try, and I still haven't done any of the DLC things, so I still gotta do that too.
Ooh, you'll have fun with those.
Yeah, I heard some of the bosses are pretty tough, so. But yeah, this is a great game if you want to just relax, kick back, have a really, really good story. You can customize your character in the story. You rank up through the story, don't you?
Yeah, you don't get a lot of
not a
credits
lot.
for it,
But you,
so
but
it's
you
only
still,
useful early on.
yeah. I mean, I'm only like 20 or 30 or something like that, and I mean, I have everything I want, so it's fine.
Yeah,
Depends on
I've
your
played the
preference,
game a lot. Rank
Yeah.
Eclipse, that's like 6 from the max.
Yeah, you're very, very, very far into the ranking
Very
system,
much.
and you have like armor effects, and
Yeah, I
everything.
saved up the 2 million
I
credits.
know, it's
for inclement
ridiculous the amount of credit. Yeah, that's like the only.
weather. It's a
armor
large
effect,
amount of
you know,
credits,
but it's worth it.
But it's worth it. It
Yeah.
gives you something to work towards that you know when you're gonna get it.
Exactly. It's like,
Unlike other games where it's completely random when you get it, which for some games I don't mind. like Borderlands and to
yeah.
an extent Destiny.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't have a problem with that, but like, and also it's also way better than what Activision decided to do with Black Ops 4 when they said they wouldn't. Wow, everyone! Spoiler alert!
Oh,
Activision went back on their
Who
word.
could have
Whoa!
seen this coming?
With microtransactions and loot box systems, where it's like, oh hey, you want this gun? There's a possibility you can get it.
You might get it.
Yeah.
You might not.
You might. If you want to enhance your odds, there's a bundle you can get for $25.
Boy.
Yeah, standard, garbage gaming practices that are a thing now, and unfortunately, I don't think they're really going to go anywhere unless a federal action is placed. Cause
Get on it, government.
Parliament's doing pretty good right now.
Yeah,
They're
out
trying.
here.
Yeah, they're out there trying to try and get rid of these microtransactions, but apparently, because I know Angry Joe just posted a video about the ESRB perfectly fine with NBA 2K20's slot machine system in a basketball game, because that's what you do when you get like a basketball
games
game.
Are so garbage.
Yeah, that's what I love. Don't you just love it when you're like, yeah, I want a basketball game, but I'm not getting it for basketball. I'm getting it for the slot machines because it's a casino.
Let's get it.
Yeah, you know how it be. Like, who wants to throw a ball? Like, let's waste real money.
Man, imagine doing that.
Yeah.
You could just, I don't know, not.
Yeah, like, imagine just playing a game and having everything in it that you can earn it in game.
Yeah.
Not have to spend a penny.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Where the only time you spend any money on that game is if you
buy the game.
When you buy the game and you want the extra DLC things. And it was at a time where it was one of those things where you didn't need the DLC to play, because I don't have any of the DLCs.
Well,
what?
Here's the thing, Brennan.
Well, Reach
All
didn't.
those map packs, they're free now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I
They've
like
been
that.
free for a while now. I don't know when it happened, but they're free.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Free maps.
Yeah, take notes, current games. It's nice to have games like that, which unfortunately nowadays is a dying breed. It's like single-player games are really the only things that may or may not be full and get what you pay for purchases. Because I know certain games, like even single-player games, they're just not safe, and it's just not good. So, but yeah, Halo Reach is just one of the few, or one of the many, I should say, staples in the gaming, in the history of gaming in general, just of what you should do. You can look at certain games and what not to do to make your game successful. This game, take notes. The customization system, I still think, is some of the best in any game, and
It's my favorite.
It is.
Game, minus cause I don't know, some games have more extensive with like the face and the body of your character.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So like, if it had extra customization options, that would be even better. But its customization system is easily one of the best in gaming ever. You got really awesome armor choices. There's like no reskins at all, if any. There's no point for them.
Well, there's like one EVA clone in it.
Oh, what? Oh, is it the C? Are you talking about?
Not Emil's helmet. That is an EVA thing, but it's the pilot helmet. But that becomes justified when you get Inheritor and get the Haunted helmet for it.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. So, the game is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't played it before, what are you doing? The game has been out for like 9 years. It's gonna be 10 years old next year. Like, that's insane. This game is amazing. It is an absolutely just fantastic game, and it needs to be recognized. I mean, it's already recognized, but
recognized a lot these days.
Yeah, recognized a lot because people like look back and are like, man, remember the great times when, like we said, where it's like where you spend $60 at GameStop, and that was it.
That's all.
The only money you'd spend on is just getting a new game.
Yep.
You had everything.
Buy the game, pop it in. Doesn't even have to take like hours to install.
Yeah, no, it was.
You're off.
Yeah, right when you put the disc in, it's like boom, Bungie Studios, and you're like, wow, I remember this. Like back when I didn't have to install anything.
Fun.
You know, it was a good time. But, so yeah, Halo Reach, the last good Halo game. And hopefully hopefully that isn't the case.
I'm still betting it will be.
I'm thinking it will be. I don't think the newest Halo coming out, Halo Infinite, I don't think it will ever be as good as the Bungie Halos.
No.
It has the chance, because I know they said they're bringing back Reach customization. We don't know how true to their word they are.
I don't trust them for a second after Halo 5.
Yeah, Halo 5 was just monumentally trash. But it seems like right now, on paper at least, that everything is going in a better direction than it was when Halo 5 was out.
Yeah. Halo 5 looked good on paper.
It did.
Arbiter coming out, Arbiter coming back,
Yep.
Chief versus Locke.
Yep, and then the game came out, and we found out that from paper to screen, something happened.
Yep.
And we don't know what happened, but it was not for the better. So yes, Halo Reach. Absolutely fantastic game. Thank you guys for joining us. If you guys... let us know what you think of this like mini podcast series, because we have a few more episodes in mind. We will be talking about Black Ops 1 and how drastically different old CODs were compared to new ones. With one of them being the fact that they were actually good. And you got everything when you paid for it.
Got 'em.
Yeah, and then since it's gonna be October soon, basically next week is October, or in 2 weeks, one or the other.
Yeah,
so that means it's Spooky Month, which means that we're gonna be talking about horror games, and that is gonna be a fun time because I love horror games.
And I don't play them.
TJ doesn't play them, but he likes watching them. That's basically you.
Essentially.
That's essentially you. Like every horror game I've live streamed, that's really just been for you because you want to watch it.
You say it was Dead Space 2 in like 5 minutes of Alien Isolation.
Yeah, that was.
Still need to do that DLC for Dead Space.
I still need to do that Dead Space DLC. Well, multiple games coming out. One that definitely doesn't rhyme with Schmorderland Shmee is out right now.
Playing that.
October 1st definitely doesn't have anything to do with shadows and keeping them.
Could not.
Nope, not at all. And, it's not like those two things that I just mentioned are kind of really big in terms of longevity, so I don't know.
I'm gonna be like stuck in a cycle of those two games for the foreseeable future with their DLC.
Yeah, without a doubt. I feel like the only time is when they stop pumping out DLCs and we have a mini content drought like we usually do for the Destiny season. So yeah, but thank you guys very much for joining us on the first episode of Golden Age of Gaming. You can like, comment, subscribe, or don't do any of them.
Make sure to smack that bell icon.
Yes, the bell icon to make sure you're actually being notified, because side note, I have actually had a couple people ask me, like, do you guys post videos? And I'm like, of course we do.
Yeah, some boxes do not work on YouTube.
Yeah, for some reason YouTube just doesn't have things that work, that should work. So, it's just make sure that bell icon is turned on, just so you're actually notified for when the games come out. And if that's not working, just keep an eye on our Instagram, where we will also always post when a new video is out, just in case the notification bell doesn't work and people aren't getting the notifications that they should be getting because they're subscribed to the channel. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys have a good day. Peace out, guys.